Intermittent fasting is wherein we allow a person to have his or her meal into a particular hours and fast for a particular hours. For example, in 24 hours, we might ask a person to fast for 12 hours and eat in the rest 12 hours, or we might ask the person to fast for 10 hours or eat in the rest 14, or fast for 14 and eat in the rest 10. So it depends upon individual person to person, but this is what it is that we eat in a window that is of 10 hours, 8 hours, depending again, and fast for the rest of the hours in 24 hours span. During this fasting period, we hardly give calories to the patient. And in the rest of the hours, suppose the person is fasting for 14 hours and eating in 10 hours. So we distribute the calories. Suppose the person is supposed to take 1400 calories or 1200 calories. So we will distribute those 1200 calories or 1400 calories in those 10 hours. So the person tends to feel fuller. And for the rest of the 14 hours, the person is fasting. And when you know that you're fasting, you don't tend to eat too much because you're already on a very calorie deficit. So through this way, we are able to reach our calorie deficit goals quite easily. And this is especially for the people who are into meetings back to back or are on the field job. So for them, it is easier that they have a heavy breakfast and they leave for their job. They're into their meetings, back to back meetings, or they're traveling, continuously, and they are not accessible to good food, or good food as in the healthy food. So in that case, they fast for that n number of hours, and then they have their meals. So that way they are able to maintain their health as well as remain in their calorie deficit also. If you're doing it under a proper guidance, that is through a qualified dietitian or nutritionist, you will not. Because they would know how to put those 1200 or 1400 calories efficiently in those 10 hours, 8 hours. They will make sure that you get all your nutrients, you reach your dietary goals, and there are no side effects to it. Otherwise, if you follow any of the social media trends and you just do it randomly, you usually end up having a lot of nutritional deficiencies. That is the reason if you follow the trend just for the sake of it, you might have heard, people having hair loss, people having the loss when they are on these weight loss trends. So if you follow a proper guidance, then you will be only hitting your targets. If you're going through a proper guidance, it will all give you good benefits. It will help you to achieve your weight loss, your fat loss, and it will give you a lot of energy as well. Because according to different sciences, fasting is supposed to be a good medium for detoxing our health as well. So, anyways, if we see, it is going to be overall a very good benefit to our body, but only if it is done under proper supervision. If it is not done under proper supervision, you might end up having difficulties on. Usually depend upon on what stage are you on being diabetes. In case of a pre-diabetes, yes, we might help. In case of early diabetes, yes, it might help. But in case if you're insulin dependent or you're on OHAs that are really strong, then we might not put you on intermittent because you've had a major meal or you've had a meal and you've had your insulin. If you've not had your proper meal, you might land up having hypoglycemia. In case you've had your medicine and your fasting period has just started, you will end up having hypoglycemia. So it will help reversal or helping the treating of diabetes, but only depends upon the stage at which you are on. You can't expect a person who's on insulin to be having intermittent fasting, that too without proper guidance. In that case, also, we would like them to have their insulin levels checked, the diabetic levels checked, and then accordingly blood sugar levels are monitored regularly in case of following an intermittent diet also. So it's going to be a very strict regime in case if somebody wants to really opt for it. See, depends upon the goal on which, why are you opting for intermittent? Usually people do opt for their fat loss or the weight loss. And if they are in the calorie deficit and they follow it, religiously, and they do exercise, they do have their proper sleep patterns, they have their hydration level up, they have their stress level down. Yes, they do get results. They do get positive benefits out of it. But in case if you are not able to follow it and sometimes you're doing it, sometimes you're getting off with it, then you might not get the desired results. And same goes with diabetes, also management of the diabetes or your, cholesterol levels. People often get the results only if they follow it religiously or under supervision, not just randomly they will get the results, because it is very important to know what are you eating in those eating hours. Because if you're fasting, you might just take some lemon water or some green tea or some coconut water in that fasting period, but what you are eating in that non-fasting period is the most important. That is the key to your intermittent fasting success. I would suggest people with high level of like high diabetes, like the sugar levels are high, they should be avoiding. Pregnant ladies should be avoiding. Elder people should be avoiding. The kids should be avoiding, especially the teenagers who just pick up the trend on the social media and they start following it because they want to remain into a particular shape. So these are the people who strictly should be avoiding. And anybody who's got into a medical condition, for example, has got a kidney problem involved or a liver problem involved, they should also be avoiding these trends. If you are into a proper guidance, then yes, you can work out. But again, depending upon, like for example, they are, for the pre-workouts, you have your coffee. Black coffee is a very good pre-workout. It does suit a lot of people. You can have that. Post workout, you can have low calorie protein shakes. That is going to be good enough for this intermittent. So that way, if we see, we can manage depending upon your energy levels, how well your body gets adjusted to this intermittent, and how well you are nourished in the rest of the timings. So it is again the guidance that you need to follow. If you follow any of your weight loss diets, the major or the basic principle is that you need to remain in calorie deficit. That is the most important thing. But what you eat in the rest of the timing is equally important, or I would say more important, because you need to focus on your proteins. You need to evenly distribute your carbs, your fats, your other micronutrients as well. So if you manage that well, good enough. And with respect to intermittent fasting, it is moreover for the people, who can't eat at a regular intervals, who are busy in their meetings or who are traveling, or who don't have as such control over their eating patterns. So we ask them, you remain fasting, out of which we try and cover their sleeps. For example, a person is sleeping for 8 hours, that is from 11 to 7 if the person is sleeping. So we'll try and keep the person fasting from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. type of a thing, wherein that the major time of 14 hours or 12 hours, out of which these 8 hours are into the sleep. So it makes easier for the person. And with respect to the other trends also, till the time that you are into a calorie deficit and you're eating a balanced diet, focusing on your proteins, you will get the result. You are supposed to remain in calorie deficit for the fat loss. So even if you're changing the diet, so switching to another diet where you're even eating everything, if you want to maintain your fat loss, then or you want to continue with your fat loss, you need to again remain in calorie deficit. In case if you achieved your target, that you achieved your desired weight or the fat percentage, then you're supposed to remain into a calorie balance where your input of calories should be equal to the output of the calories. Then you maintain your weight. So whatever to the diet that you're switching, you have to make sure that your next goal is planned accordingly. Your current diet or the diet to which you have switched should be planned according to the goal that you are going to have next.